Oh, g'day there and welcome back into the Mad Monday podcast of a Thursday, but always brought to you by 4 and 20 Pies, the perfect at-home snack for watching State of Origin at stupid o'clock on a Wednesday. Thankfully, a shortened week. My name is Tino Fa'asua Manaiawi. Joining me, fresh off the back of State of Origin commentary, is Adam Whanua-Kesey. Good afternoon, although, to be honest, feels a little bit more like morning, doesn't it?
Is it not 8 a.m. right now? Commentating a game at 10 on a Wednesday that finishes at midnight. And Manaia, the last few games that we've done together, they're just blowouts.
We're the jinx. We are the jinx.
And I'm a New South Wales fan, and that was great to begin with.
Yeah.
But there's no point watching the second half.
It really fizzled out, didn't it? It was
did.
just such a blowout, and it was such a comprehensive win. I felt like, and I said it throughout the commentary, the New South Wales defence was just smothering. They were shutting down Queensland's options every single time. Anytime DCE felt like he just had his head on a plate the entire night, like he was just getting cut down.
Him and Reece Walsh.
They were like, we're just going to waste these two, and then what else are they really going to do? And it worked.
It does work because DCE is pretty much the puppet master of Queensland and has been for a while now.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that smothering defence is not something you really associate with New South Wales. It's usually the other way around.
So Madge Maguire's taken them up into the Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
And he's done something that's really...
And we mentioned it a lot last night as well. It was just the dudes that stood up were the dudes with the question marks around them. Latrell Mitchell.
Yeah.
Trell Mitt, we don't know. He's overrated. He's a piece of shit, whatever. All the news around him is always that.
Yeah.
Comes in, instantly makes everything so much better. Defensively was just shutting down Valentine Holmes the whole night.
It was a menace.
And Zach Lomax, who I hate, played great, kicked really well.
He did. No dumb shit.
Yeah.
No flick passes.
No.
Oh, I think there might have been one.
There was one later in the game. It was like, okay, fine, you can have that.
Yeah.
Mitch Moses came in and had 4 try assists, equaled Freddie Fittler for the most in Origin history in one game.
Yeah.
So it was just, the narrative of just those 3 guys standing up massively. Angus Crichton as well, who question marks around him after he went to Amsterdam and lost his mind or whatever it was.
Yep. Liam Martin played well. Spencer Leniu played like he'd heard me talking so much shit about him for the last few months.
Yeah.
It's only because I want Mitch Barnett to be on there, and I felt like Mitch Barnett should have had his spot.
Well, Mitch Barnett is more of a, Crichton, he's not a come off the bench guy. He is a play the full 80 and be solid, whereas you need a little psycho like Spencer Leniu off the bench.
And he was excellent last night.
He was, yeah. I mean, he was stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Running in, starting fights, doing all sorts of stupid shit. But the energy, the intensity, it's like when Zion Mau'u came on for us that one game and got us back into form. He's a bit of that.
Yeah, a bit of fizz. And the best part about it is that we don't have a dead rubber. There were all these stats coming into that game about New South Wales play well at a neutral venue, blah, 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 games 2 and all this sort of stuff. This happens every year with State of Origin. If there's a big win in the first game, everyone's like, oh, that's the end of the series.
Yeah, right.
This is why we play 3 games.
And statistically, doesn't this always happen? Queensland win.
Yeah.
Neutral venue, New South Wales put on a decent game, get everyone fired up, and then we go back to Suncorp, and then you get your ass handed to you.
Yeah.
Literally, the blueprint is there.
I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think the next game is for quite a while. It's towards the end of July, I believe.
Yeah.
But I'm very much looking forward to that.
I still think New South Wales will win, but I think, and I'm hoping that game 3 will be an absolute barnstormer.
Yes, same here.
Yeah.
I think that New South Wales really found something in that second game. And there'll be a lot of adjustments going into the next game. I don't think the Reds will change their team too much.
Nah.
But
that's what they do, right? They just stick and hold.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe bring in a Fafita. They got a hiding.
They did get a hiding. I don't think Fafita stops that hiding. Although maybe.
They got to do something.
They do got to do something. That doesn't seem like a very Queensland move.
No, it
bring Fafita in.
I mean, that's what I would be doing. But
I feel they'll bring in some battler who's struggling. They'll bring in Jake Granville or something,
And then it'll prove to be like a masterstroke. That is what they do. Cape Well, I mean, Cobbo would have, I still think Cobbo should be there rather than Cape Wire. Particularly, Hammer goes down.
I think he's injured, Cobbo.
Oh, that's right. He took some time away. That's right. That's what it was.
He's carrying one of those injuries. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
One of those injuries where it's like he probably could play, but he's buggered.
Yeah.
And now he's just look, I'm just going to take a bit of time off.
Do you reckon Suoli'i's ever going to play Origin again?
Nah. Well, Do you reckon he's going to play next week? Next game?
But he'll be back in the NRL after like 3 years or something.
He'll be back in the NRL in 2028, I reckon.
Yeah, I said, what did I say, 4 years? Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Look, if he comes back, I think he plays Origin again. He's very young. He'll still only be like 25 by then.
That fucks me off.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It pisses me off how young he is specifically because he's so massive.
Yeah.
And he's played for the Roosters for a couple of years now. He's signed rugby. You know, like, it's just, and you go, oh, I'm 20 or whatever it is.
I know.
It's stupid.
He's getting younger. Well, he started when he was 17, you know, and,
Yeah,
and
that's
they
right.
changed the rules so that they could bring him in.
The Rabbitohs, eh?
Yeah, and I was saying, well, look, bugger it. If he's good enough, then he should be able to play. And then Di Henwood said, well, what if he was 16? And I was like, again, if he's good enough. He goes, what if he was 15? So if he's good enough, he's like, so you think a 15-year-old should be in there dick out with the other players and
the changing sheds?
I was like,
Well, not specifically that part.
I said, if he's good enough.
If there's an 8-year-old who can play NRL level footy,
Yeah.
get him out there. You know what I mean? He can be reading The Hungry Caterpillar during the week, and then at the weekend, he can be putting in massive hits.
If he's good enough, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
On a completely unrelated note, and I asked this yesterday on the Agenda podcast, what's the oldest age you could have beaten LeBron James at? So you right now, so obviously you could beat 2-year-old LeBron James at a game of basketball. Could you beat 10-year-old LeBron James? He's 6 foot by then.
I don't think so.
No, neither. I said 8.
Because he strikes me as now this is going to be a hot take. LeBron strikes me as a guy who picked up a basketball from a very young age.
Yeah.
I picked up a basketball 2 years ago or 3 years ago. You know what I mean? I was like
Yeah.
29.
Yeah.
No, he definitely would beat me. What's the oldest he needs to be before you could beat him again?
Oh.
So it stops at about 8 years old.
Yeah, when does it pick up again?
Like Kareem, right? Right now, Kareem would still smoke you.
Yes, because he's 7 feet tall.
And he also will still be able to shoot.
Yeah.
They'll be able to shoot till the day the day they die.
He's got that hook shot still. So LeBron ages in this situation and I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's sort of just before he's bedridden. And, you know.
Yeah, like the day before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like deathbed. If he's like, look, I've got one more game in me. I want to go out doing what I love. I'll be like, I'll play you. Even then, I don't know.
Nah, even then, I reckon he'd still be
He's
able
6'9". There's bugger all you can do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Plus,
don't know.
you suck as well.
Yeah, well, that's the other part of it.
As do I. So that's the part we're not really accounting for.
I know, because that's what I was saying is like, God, you only get one shot at this. So what if you go, right, I think I could beat him at 94 years old. And then you go out there and he beats you. You're like, well, that was my one shot. I just lost to 94-year-old LeBron. I don't know. I digress, but I did want to run that one past you. Let's bin State of Origin. It was a very entertaining first 25 minutes, but now it's set up a very entertaining third game. We now turn our attention to round 17, Saturday 29th of June. The Warriors take on the Broncos at 5 p.m. The team lists are out for that, and it is looking very different. The biggest thing, Sean Johnson out for 4 weeks. That means Tamati Martin's back into 7, Chanel Harris-Tavita, and at 6, Freddie Lussick finds his way back onto the bench. He will join Dylan Walker, Jazz Tavanga, Kirk Capewar backing up from Origin. How do you feel about Sean Johnson being out?
I feel happy.
Really?
I'm pleased because Shawnee J, and I don't think it's an age thing, like, he just has been clearly dealing with something for most of the season.
Yeah.
And after last year's clear Dalian performance of a season from Sean Johnson,
Yes.
he came back, he reached that peak form the Warriors were hissing. He's like, yeah, hell yeah, another year, boys, let's do it. And it just hasn't unfolded that way. And I feel like because of that, he has just been trying to get through it and trying to get things going whilst his ankle is falling apart.
Yeah, ankle, pec, bloody...
The whole shit,
yeah.
exactly. And we were talking to Charlie Gubb about this at the beginning of the week, and he was saying, look, Tamati Martin in the halves, sweet, whether it's Chance at 5'8", or Tuapiki or CHT, and they've gone with CHT, which is the safe option. That's fine, and the Wires can do well. They can beat the Panthers at Magic Round.
Yeah.
However, they ain't going to do shit in the postseason unless you've got a healthy Sean Johnson at halfback for the Warriors.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think for the next 4, 5, 6 weeks, I wouldn't be surprised if it drags out a bit more. We just get things clicking, get things clicking. Sean Johnson comes back, but don't put him as the guy. Like, let Tamati Martin, if he's doing a good job, just stay like that and just go, Sean, you're the second fella now.
Yeah.
Like the Lakers with LeBron being like, Anthony Davis, you're the main guy. LeBron's the second guy now because he's slightly older. A situation like that would be great.
Yeah.
I feel like the Warriors, in fact, I put $20 on them to win.
Oh, yeah. We were talking to Carl Tyler from the TAB everyone's on the Warriors despite the fact that they're outsiders at the time of recording this. If you wait until game day, they may be favourites by the time we start.
It's all going to come down to whether or not, and they've been named in the reserves, Reece Walsh, Payne Haas or Pat Carrigan back up Saturday, 3 days after State of Origin in Melbourne.
You would have to think not.
A flight to Auckland.
Yeah.
An early 3 p.m. game Australian time.
It's a recipe for a head cold.
It's exactly, and I think the Broncos have been. Are they still inside the 8? They're like barely clinging in there.
I think so, yeah.
It's because they're not doing like amazingly since Reece went down, and also Adam Reynolds, obviously. But I think if this team runs out how it is here on paper, and they have Jack Gazowski at 12, and like all these fellas like Xavier Willison, who's a beast, but he's a young fella. Like if it's like that, I can see us running a lot of points, and I can see Adam Fanua-Blake scoring a try, Mitch Barnett scoring a try through the middle.
Yeah.
I think we can do a job on them.
I think so too. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about this.
Isn't that amazing after last weekend?
I know. And you would think, I don't know what it is about, we just get our asses handed to us. Our best player from last year is now out for a month. We've got a few other injuries floating around as well. Now we're playing against the team that knocked us out against in the playoffs last year.
And here I am putting $20 on it.
Yeah, I'm going to follow you in on that too.
Yeah.
I think that there's, I don't know, well, again, on the ACC Sportsbook with the TAB, we do a segment that we've done before called Stats to Impress the Ladies. They actually have some stats, and there's a bunch of them. I won't try and butcher them now, but they're all around anytime a team gets pantsed by like 60-something points, they generally bounce back the next
Right.
week. Yeah, they generally cover the line, which is only 3.5 points, which basically means they're going to win. So...
Man, you do the math on that.
yeah, you crunch those numbers. Do your own research. But I'm just saying.
It wasn't just a big loss. It was the worst loss in the history of the club. That's embarrassing.
It is,
That is a huge pride injury. And
I think that's why teams, after they get spanked, they turn around and go all right.
it's also like when they sack the coach and then the next game, the guy, interim coach, gets a win at his first game. And they're like,
you can't fake that kind of desperation,
exactly,
humiliation, embarrassment. Because what we saw in that game last week that I don't really want to think about too much is they just gave up, basically.
Absolutely.
And once you're getting a hiding, like I don't think that carries over into the next game.
Absolutely not.
I fucking hope not.
It better fucking not. What I saw from that game, though, and we discussed it at length in the second half while we were dying on our ass commentating the worst game in history, is I think Adam Fanua-Blake is an all-time great talent. Like, he's amazing. He also isn't the right person. He's obviously sulking still. He'll be pissed off about that loss.
Yeah.
He obviously wants out.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's stuff behind the scenes happening with him. I think the Warriors are currently trying to offload him, but they have to pay money, the Sharks, to get him early and all sorts of shit.
That, yeah.
So I think he is a negative influence in the changing rooms.
Yeah, but I don't think actively. I think just by virtue of the fact that, you know, if we suck, he's going to be like, oh, I don't
He's
know.
a bit sulky about it.
Yeah, but it's not like rallying the boys together.
No, exactly, it was almost like that's what we saw, the lack of guys like Mitch Barnett and Kurt Capewar.
Yeah.
It was almost like you need fellas like that. And Tohu's been doing it for ages, but he's old now.
Yeah.
Let him play 40 off the bench, man. Whereas James Fisher-Harris, who's coming next year...
He wouldn't stand for that shit.
Absolutely not. We would have lost 60-6 if James Fisher-Harris was there. You know, he would have at least got rid of one try, maybe even more. But he's the kind of guy that would rack the boys up and get them to actually, I hope, stand up. Whereas I don't see Adam Fanua-Blake doing that.
No, and I don't really know who it is. I think it could be Tohu. He seems like quite a softly spoken dude.
He absolutely is. He's so chill.
I think generally it's Sean Johnson, but I think he was just too injured in that game.
Yeah.
And I think he knew it would be a little bit eat-us to try and give everyone else a G up when he knew himself he wasn't at full strength.
You know who else it could be?
It's Mitch Barnett.
Well, Mitch Barnett, but also it could also be Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, who wasn't there. Because he was captain of the Dogs for ages, wasn't he? Or the Panthers or something when both teams when they were shit.
He captained the Kiwis.
And the Kiwis, Kiwis, that's right. And so I think Dallin could almost be a guy that G's them up a wee bit from out on the wing.
Yeah.
And because you can tell by the way he runs the ball, but something was missing there that was the key to unlocking our, not like the real cheesy, doing it for the jersey or whatever.
Oh, no, you're right. I think Mitch Barnett is that guy. I think Kurt Capewell's that guy as well.
Well, he's a leader, isn't he?
It's a great point that you raised that neither of those guys were there, and then all of a sudden we sort of let go of the rope in that game. So
Yeah, you need someone in there geeing everyone up.
yeah, with both those guys back and named to start as well in Mitch Barnett's case, and then Kurt Capewire coming off the bench, I don't think they're going to change this team list too much.
I hope not.
No,
I love the look of this team list.
So do I. Manata Niukore is looking great. Jackson Ford, can we just get some sort of like sticky spray on his hand, on his chest? Whatever they used to have in the NFL that they banned because it was way too easy to catch the ball. If we could just get some of that stuff in there.
And just coat him in it.
Yeah, 100%.
Just powder coat the XR6 Ford.
Yeah, get him a couple of fucking baseball mitts. I don't know, something. The knock-ons are out of control at the moment. Outside of that, he's excellent.
And that's the thing is when we're all clicking with plenty of go forward and he's got time to just like catch the ball and run without having all this pressure and shit, he's been going great in the front row, and I think that's his spot. Yeah. All you got to do is a shitload of work, run and tackle. Yeah. And he's great for that.
And every now and then someone will throw you a no-look pass, it'll bounce off your hip. Yeah. I don't think it's all his fault.
No, absolutely not. He's just, here's the circle on his chest, please put the ball there, otherwise who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. You know? So that is the team list as they line up. Selwyn Cobbo and Tony Staggs back in, and Jesse Arthur's back in for the Broncos as well. I really don't think we're going to see any of their origin dudes who were named on the extended bench. Reece Walsh, Payne Haas, Patrick Carrigan. I just don't think so.
Like
certainly not Reece Walsh.
It's such like we're only at round 17 this week.
Yeah,
we've still got 10 more rounds to go, and then the postseason and State of Origin.
Payne Haas would be the only one I think who would.
Well, because he actually missed a few games at the beginning of the year, so he's had more time off than the others.
I think he would want to play. But anyway, I agree with you. At the time of recording this podcast, Warriors are $2.25 outsiders, so I'm probably going to get on that tonight.
Yeah.
To lock that price in before it shortens up. We will be, Di and the Pantsman will be commentating that one, 5 p.m. on Sky Sport 9. Make sure you tune in for that one. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a bit of SuperCoach. Just before we do, 4 and 24 pack prize pack is still going. Here's how it works. 4 tickets to the next home game and 4 and 20 pie vouchers. If you want to win that, text YUM to 3236. That's YUM to 3236. We'll have a new keyword next month, so do that in this ad break. All right, SuperCoach Chris, it's sort of a weird period at the moment where most people's cash generation has sort of been done and your team's starting to firm up as how you want it to be. We're through the worst of the Origin buy round shenanigans.
Yeah, only got one more.
I only got one more. It is still tricky. I'm short of a player. I think I've only got I've got 16
for round 19
that I can field. Yeah. For round 19, the problem I have is I've got like 2 or 3 nuffies in there that don't play, and I've only got them because they are dual position eligible.
Right,
Jed Cartwright and Fafita.
Oh, is that No, who is it? Viliami Fafita.
Who is like one of the top 10 most owned players in SuperCoach.
Yeah, I've got him.
Yeah, everyone does.
I haven't started nothing yet, and if you don't know what nothing is, it's when you just choose guys that don't play, but you make sure they're dual position so you can switch your team around. I've just checked. I've got 18.
Oh, great.
Which is a total fluke.
How many trades do you have left?
12.
Yeah, see, I have 13 and I've got 1 boost. And so I'm a little...
12 and 1 boost, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little confused as to what to do. So let's go through the buys, sells, captains, different options. So Nico Hines is back this week for the Sharks. The Sharks have a tremendous run home. They potentially, depending on how the other teams... like whether they win or lose. The Sharks may not face another top 8 team after the Bulldogs.
It's a joke.
For the rest of the season.
That's right, yeah. It's a joke. So they've got the cushiest, and even at the start of the season, before we even got underway, everyone was like, wow, the Sharks have got an easy draw this year.
Yeah. So now is potentially the time to get on the Sharks. The only thing about Nico Hines is his break-even is 212.
Shout out, I've never seen a break-even that high.
No.
So don't get him this week.
So when he plays the Bulldogs, I saw a good breakdown of this online. He basically can score 70 points this weekend, and still lose $100,000 in value.
Which is outrageous. So I don't think it's worth getting Nico this week. But next week, I reckon you need to set your team up in such a way that you can bring him in. Okay. Yes, because he is going to drop money. Now, I've had Nico the entire season. I don't care how much he costs. I want him in my team.
You still have him?
I still have him.
Oh, right.
So it's the last few weeks have been shit house, but I've still got him, and so he's just in for the rest of the season because I'm running low on trades now, and anyone I bring in from this point is going to be in my team at the end of the year.
Yeah.
The reason why, so wait a week, he might score 70, he might even score 100 and something. You go, damn it, he's still going to drop $100,000, then bring him in instantly because he goes Titans in round 18,
Yeah.
Tigers 19, bye. But then the Cowboys who have been struggling, the Bunnies who have been struggling, the Titans again,
Yeah.
the Knights who are sort of in the middle, the Dragons,
Yeah.
us, and then Manly. What an outrageous run home. So
Yeah.
get Nico Hines and the other two guys
Yeah.
who the entire world are bringing in. I'm one of them. I already have Ronaldo Mulitalo.
Oh, you stuck with him?
I got him maybe 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Because whenever Braden Trindle came back,
Yeah, right.
he was in the 400s, he's 480, and I was like, I'll just get Mulitalo because the run home is ridiculous, and when
Yeah.
they start clicking, he'll start scoring again. And the other guy's Britton Nikora,
Yeah, 120 over the weekend.
who scored 120. He's 570,000. This is a guy who consistently last year for about 8 weeks was pumping out 90s,
Yeah, because he was scoring so many tries.
running off Nico's hip.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, I like to think Nico, now that there's no origin worries, all he's got to do is worry about getting the Sharks and actually showing that they're not just a mirage like they were last year.
Yeah.
And just get that side clicking again, running off his hip. Surely Britton Nikora is going to go up.
I agree with you. I'm going to try and bring in Mulitalo this week just because I've got a couple of terrible centre wings that I need to get rid of. Took a real pot shot at Jack Whiten a few weeks ago. And
So random, by the way.
Has not paid
So
off.
random. Was that when he switched into the halves?
It was when they turned around and started winning games.
Because they've been looking great now.
And I was like, Jack Whiten, here we go. I also thought he was going to get dual position eligibility. He hasn't yet.
That would have been handy.
Yeah.
The other one I've brought in, and the whole world is looking at it, is Fletcher Sharp.
Yeah, F sharp.
The only issue with him, he's fullback.
Yes.
He's $204,000, but most people will have Tedesco. Well, I like to think most people have Tedesco locked in as their starting fullback.
Yes.
The other two big guns you want are probably Turbo or Ponga, and they're not back yet. So just go for Sharp until one of them comes back, and then you'll make a 200,000-300,000 on him.
Yeah, so here's my scenario that I talked about last week. I was going to bin Latrell because I got Teddy and Latrell. I was like, I can't because I'm probably going to want Latrell back. But I'm now looking at it. They got the bye this week.
Yeah.
I can't have $1 million sitting on my bench doing nothing.
No, and then State of Origin comes around,
That's right.
so he's going to miss quite a few games.
That's right. So I should have got rid of him last week. I'm going to do it this week.
Yeah.
It's going to clear the path for a lot of salary next week, which is when I bring Nico Hines in. I think F Sharp's a no-brainer.
Yeah, so you need to bring Nico Hines in. You also are going to, I assume, at some point need to bring Nathan Cleary in around round 20.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of and if you want to do stuff like if you got rid of Angus Crichton over State of O and you want to bring him back later, there's a lot of these guys that you're going to need money for.
Yeah.
Sharp, I reckon, is a guaranteed 400, 300, 400K over the next few weeks.
Plus, chances are you're downgrading from someone. So
Yes, that's right. So that frees up cash.
not that at this point of the season you need to be making heaps of cash, but I also don't think it's ever a bad thing. Making money is the only way you can improve your team.
If Turbo was flying, Ponga was flying right now, I wouldn't even look twice at Sharp.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Pappenhausen's struggling. It's been a shit show. Everyone's injured. Latrell's been called up. It's like, for the first time ever, fullback isn't the amazing spot it has always been.
Yeah.
It will be at the end of the season.
Yes.
So in the meantime, just make some cash.
Take advantage of it. Yeah,
And he's also a good player. He's played 2 games against the Panthers and the Storm, who
Yeah.
are the best teams in the comp.
and averages 67.
And he's the man. So imagine when he plays, I don't even know who they're playing this week, but whoever they are, he's going to do a job and get you maybe 70, 80 points.
They're playing the Eels.
Oh, 90
So-
or 100 points.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Sells, I think Sofa Longo's a sell.
Yeah, he came off the bench at the last minute last week, which meant he only got 33 points. Pretty impressive considering it's off the bench.
Yeah, definitely. And he's an impressive player.
He's great. However, there has been whispers. NRL Physio tweeted out earlier today, or maybe it was last night, that Pappenhausen has a chance to maybe miss out this round,
Oh, really?
dealing with just a little niggle. However, I think, let me just double check this.
It's just the problem with that is why not trade him to Sharp, make money, and then increase?
100%. So if you've still got Fa'alongo, wait and see. So they are playing, the issue is they're playing, I think, Sunday night, Melbourne.
Yeah.
And so if they rule him out at the last minute, you've got to wait right until it's Saturday night, actually, so it's not too far off, just after the Warriors game, 3rd game of the night. So if you've got Fa'alongo, the good thing about him is he is centre wing eligible.
Yeah, right.
So what you could do is bring Sharp in and just bump him up to one of your shitty centre wings and just keep an eye. And then if Pappenhausen is out, you could get one more game of him at fullback for the Melbourne Storm against the Raiders, who had an absolute score put on them by the Tigers.
It's a luxury, though, to be able to do that, I think.
It's very specific.
You have to be in a good situation.
Yes, otherwise dump him because, 1 week left? He's been great, but...
Yeah, do you really want to be playing? Is that the game you want to be playing?
Yeah.
Fuck, I hope Sewer starts and then goes gangbusters. Yeah, I don't know. Blaise Talangi, if he's still on your roster, I reckon now's the time to get rid of him. He's been playing well. The scores haven't been bad, but he's $605,000 and the Eels suck.
The Eels are bottom of the table.
And I know they're getting players back, and Mitch Moses just broke whatever record in Origin. I just still look at that Eels team and think they suck.
I think if Gutho goes down again and Talangi goes to fullback, sweet.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I'm like...
But I wouldn't hold on to him on the off chance that happens. So.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
In fact, what I'd probably do is I'd nuff him out.
Yeah.
Because it is getting to the point in the season where you kind of need to just like one of your 2 RFs, nuff them out. One of your centre wings, nuff them out.
Yeah.
Which is bringing in a non-playing bottom dollar player.
Yeah.
And just bank all that cash, man. Yeah, absolutely. And then all of a sudden you could go ham on like a Val Holmes or someone that, you haven't got.
Or whatever dude you've been watching all season being like, fuck, I wish I had that dude. But
Exactly.
I just couldn't afford it.
Nuff one of your boys out and then just splash out.
Treat yourself. Captains for this week. Is anybody not captaining Tedesco?
I'm captaining Tedesco. The only issue with him is, well, actually, it's good. He plays the last game of the round against his old team, the Tigers.
Yeah. I'm not going to get into the dark arts of the vice captain loop. I'm going to stuff that one up. So I'm just setting and forgetting him as captain.
The good thing about this is my vice captain is Nico Hines, because I've got him still. He's playing the first game of the round, which means I have the entire weekend
to make a decision.
To hopefully, if he scores 150 plus, hopefully remember to do the switch, because that's the issue is I always forget and it always ruins my... So, yeah, I'm like you. I try to avoid it, but, Nico, first game of the round, Teddy, last game of the round, can't really go wrong.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you. I don't think anyone would be not captaining Teddy. And I would say that there's a couple of different ways you can look at it. Like, do you want to go point of difference captain to try and beat other people because everyone else is going to be captaining him? I kind of think no. I would just be like, look, I'm going to captain him because everyone else is. So if he fails to fire, at least he didn't fire for anyone else.
That was a piece of advice. I was listening to a podcast a few weeks back of a guy who won it, and he was just like, just captain who everyone else is captaining and then use your other positions
to make up the difference.
Because the last thing you want to do is miss out on a guy. And also it's Teddy against the Tigers. Yeah. Who else are you going to captain that's possibly going to score more than he is?
Yeah, that's right.
This is a ridiculous situation.
Yes. And if you captain him and you were wrong, at least you were wrong for the right reasons.
Yes, and if he gets high-shotted and gets 5 points, everyone is in the same boat.
Yeah, that's right.
All good. So, lock in Teddy captain. And then who cares about vice captain because it's dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. You could win your matchup that week, but you could definitely fuck yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I think we'll knock that on the head for this week.
Okay.
Enjoy your weekend of football. Enjoy the commentary. Saturday, 5 p.m, Patsman, Di Henwood as well. We'll be back on Monday for another episode of the Mad Monday podcast brought to you by 4 and 20 Pies.
See ya.
And Australia without rugby league is not Australia.